a bit windy out today, but I'm just gonna install a few of the panels on the walls. I got them stained, I got them sealed, and so now I'm going to use that nail gun to put them up. First panel's up, looks pretty good. The second panel here, I'm gonna have to cut a hole through so I can run the wires for my refrigerator through them. So I just gotta figure out where I gotta drill that hole. Perfect. It was tricky trying to figure out what color to do these because those really wasn't coming through on grays for me. So what I settled on was to do like a solid stain on the bottom and then do the same color for the shiplap on top, but make it more like semi-solid. So you'll see more of the wood grain on top and the bottom should be darker. So because I'm gonna have cabinets on the ceiling and then a countertop down here, and then I'm gonna do a backsplash in between, I don't need to seal or stain these boards right here. So I was able to just cut them to the size I need, put them up. So they do have beadboard on the back of it, but I need it to be nice and smooth so that I can put that backsplash up. So I just flipped it over and then I can put them up just like this. Guys plugged in. Doing good. Alright. Looks pretty good. Still works. Woo! A first guide switch. That's pretty cool. So I finished all the walls on the bottom part of my walls now. This is where like the counter is going to start in the nose, so I didn't have to stain that. Got it all put up here, nicely around my electrical box. It goes along that wall. I added a few things to the trailer. I started working on the frame for my bed, and I also put like a wooden little box around my battery so that it won't slide around at all. It'll stay in one place. So I decided to go with these rails for my bed in the back, kind of like a floating bed. They make them for cargo, and they have these little brackets that go with them that 2x4s fit in. So I cut and stained these 2x4s for my bed. I was able to put these racks, like line them right up with my studs. So I put 4 screws in those racks, right where the studs are. And then I also made this box around my battery. So I put a piece of insulation, the same insulation that goes in my walls under there as well, just to keep it off the floor and kind of insulate it a little bit. This is the first thing I ever made with a Craig jig. So a Craig jig makes those like nice little wooden pockets right there for the screws. So the boards that I took off my walls so I could insulate them and run the wires through, I'm able to cut into planks anywhere up to 8 inches. I didn't really mind if they were kind of different widths. I think it'll look pretty cool that way. but I'm so glad that I'm able to use that original wood. I just trim off any of the spots where like the nail holes were, and then I stained them and sealed them, and I'm gonna start putting them on the walls. I decided to work from the window over just because I wanted, like, I guess right next to the window to look really nice, and then if I end up with like an odd shape at the back, then it's like at the back of the trailer where you don't see it as much. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I cut the hole out for my other light switch, so I'm gonna try and get that installed now. Shut this light off. I have to unplug these. Right, and then this will go right back into its little hole. Snug that up. Awesome. Here's for my charger. Stick them through here. So I got this little 12-volt USB port charger. So I'm gonna install this. I'm not gonna have any like outlets in my trailer because that's more difficult than just the 12-volt system, but I did get like these little USB ports so I can still charge like my phone, my camera, anything like that. I can still use anything that charges with the USB, so I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see if this guy works. Alright, awesome. Okay, so that little blue light is lighting up, which means it's getting power to it. That's awesome. Just make sure that these guys are plugged in good. There. And then I'm just going to grab the screws that come with it, and I'm going to install it to the wall. That looks so cool. I'm excited. Then I can go ahead and put this little cover on, and you just snap it on there. It's got these little doors, which is kind of cool, that go up and down for when you're charging or not using it. I pre-drilled the holes. Light switch cover. It's pretty cool. Alright. So I just got the window frame done with the boards here. Trying to come to grips with it's okay that it's not perfect, because I'm definitely a perfectionist, and like these boards aren't going to be perfect because they're not going to be perfectly straight. They're not going to match up perfect. The walls are not completely flat, so I just have to make peace with that. It still looks pretty good. So I got that done. I might eventually put some trim around it. There's like little gaps in the corners, but honestly that doesn't really bother me that much, you know, in the grand scheme of things. And so now I came to my second charger here, so I'm gonna go ahead. I drilled the hole in the board for that, and so now I'm gonna do the same thing as I do with the other charger. Woo! Final panel is done. I got all the shiplap put up, and it looks pretty nice in here now. It looks like a little farmhouse. Got another charger on the wall over there. My light switch and charger there. Got this other window and the whole wall. There's Ranger supervising. This window right here, I guess I started cutting them a little tall, I guess. Either way, I decided I'd just leave it like that. Reminds me of like a little like fence, sort of, so I decided to leave it for now. Overall, I'm really happy with how it looks so far. Oh my gosh, I can remember when I was waiting for this moment to like finally have the boards up and have it actually feel like a home again in here. So I'm pretty happy. This is awesome. So this is probably a good time for me to come clean about my obsession with Carhartt beanies. I have a lot of them already. I pretty much buy like a new color every year, but they're fun and they're not that expensive and they just change your outfit. So they're cozy. Yeah.